and welcome to Live Joy Travel. I'm Jess, and today I welcome you to one of the most famous cities in the whole entire world, Venice. Journey here in the middle of Piazza San Marco, one of the most popular and most visited piazzas here in all of Italy, in the heart of Venice. So let me take you around, let me show you some of the greatest landmarks that this piazza has to offer so you can enjoy them just like we are. Let's go. One of the main landmarks that you're going to be looking at in this piazza, it's going to be the church. The church was actually the very first building that was established in this city. The very first stone belonged to the church. As you can tell, it has become quite the landmark. Another thing that most people miss in the grandiose scheme of things here in Venice is the Orologio Tower, or the tower with the clock. And it makes for great pictures. So when you come, don't forget to look that way. Guys, as you can tell, as we are walking towards the canal, you see the lines of people. My best advice to you is do your reservations online or prenotazione as they know it. There's lots to see here, but if you are time crunched, I suggest that you pick one or two activities that you really want to see and that you stick to those, and take the rest of the time to get lost in the streets of Venice and enjoy yourself rather than standing in line. Guys, it is from this very spot that you're gonna have one of the best views of the steeple of the church. It has been hit by lightning many more times than we can count, and the government has actually added some extra features to keep it from being struck again. Ooh, don't be caught here in the rain. So guys, if you see those two pillars right ahead of us, according to the legend or what we have heard, they are considered to be bad luck if you walk straight through them, if you believe in that sort of thing, because that is exactly where prisoners used to be executed, right in the middle of those two pillars. So it's up to you if you want to walk through there or if you choose to go around. For me, I think I'll go around. So guys, a few steps away from the piazza, closer to the canal, you are gonna find one of many stops for the gondolas, and it is right here that you're going to get to see the Grand Canal, and that is the best spot to take it. Now if you do want to see the smaller canals, then I suggest that you take your gondola deeper into the city at different points. Another fun fact about the gondolas that you see is that by law, they all have to be black. They all have to be painted black, and the only freedom they have is to decorate the inside of the gondola. That law was created in the 1700s to make sure that it was a fair shot to everyone and that it would reduce competition, and that is why you now see the gondolas in the color black. At one point, Venice had over 10,000 gondolas. Now they are only down to 400, mostly for touristic purposes. So when you do take a gondola ride, enjoy the beauty of it. As we walk away from the gondolas, which by the way tend to be between 80 to 100 euro per 30 minutes, depending on the area that you find yourself in, I do want to tell you another fun fact. There's actually only one woman that is currently allowed to be on the gondolas, so we are very proud of her for breaking the stereotypes. So let's continue to move on and keep moving this way. Now that we're done looking at about the gondolas and learning about them, we're actually gonna move on to one of the most important spots for all tourists here in Venice, and that is the Bridge of Sighs. What do you think, Adrian? Are you ready to see it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So let's go, guys. Guys, we have made it to the Bridge of Sighs, and actually most tourists come here, stand here and take their picture, and they find it very romantic. But the reality is a different one. This bridge actually saw the prisoners go into the prison to hear their case and to see if they would ever see the canals again. So it gave the name the Bridge of Sighs, as they were sighing, hoping to see the beautiful canal and not knowing their fate. Pretty dark. I like the other version better. From here, I'm gonna sigh and, as usual, hope that I come back to this bridge, just as I do time and time again. But from this spot, we're gonna move on to a whole different spot in the city, because this is just the city center and we have a lot more to show you in this beautiful Venice. Let's go. So guys, after the Piazza, you can continue to walk up and down the canal, or you can be like me and go find the hidden gems in the streets and get lost, because that is honestly the best way to see Venice. So I am about to grab Adrian, yank him with me, and we are going to go find some pasta in a box, which is my favorite. Let's go. Guys, as I am walking through here, I do have to tell you what these are for. There is some rain that is expected tomorrow, and Venice is, of course, as most of you guys know, sinking, and it has been sinking since 1973. The government has tried very hard to keep it from sinking, but unfortunately it is a crude reality that is quickly approaching, and hopefully they will find a solution. But until then, they have come up with this idea to keep visitors safe from the water, or acqua alta as they know it. That we're walking down is called Piazza 2 Aprile. This is the strip that you're going to head down and find luxury stores galore, nestled right between the nooks and corners of the side streets. So you're gonna find anything from Chanel to Prada to anything you can think of. So guys, as you walk through the streets of Venice, as you can tell, you're gonna see displays galore, and a lot of them are going to have masks. When you come to Venice, if you are just going to stay in the island and not go to Murano or Burano, this is the place to buy silk or lace. And as you can tell, it's all handmade, and you will know when it says a mano. Now they will have different price points and different intricacy on the level of the craft, but nonetheless, if you have somebody back at home who loves lace, this would be the spot to buy something. The masks that you see along the streets of Venice were actually banned at one point, and the government didn't want people wearing them, but it got to the point where the high-class people started wearing them, and they had no choice but to approve them from December through Lent, and that is how it all began. But why were people wearing masks? Well, the reality of it is that they were hiding to do illicit stuff, maybe to meet with a lover, or maybe to have something they weren't supposed to have during Lent. And that is what came about on the ban. However, now you are free to wear them, especially during Carnevale time, which celebrates the upcoming Lent. Hi guys, we have made it to Mercato del Pesce, or the fish market. this right here is where the locals get their fish and all the restaurants get their supply. And as soon as you walk through here, the smell of fish just intoxicates you, but in a really good way. So I thought, why not? Let's all take a walk through the fish market, because I promise you it is so worth it. And now you know that your food will be fresh when you come to Venice. The first thing that you'll notice when you walk in is that the smell is going to get stronger and stronger, but don't worry, it's not nauseating or anything of the sort. It literally just smells like the beach. Quite shocking, to be honest. If you are lucky enough to get an Airbnb with a kitchen, I would highly recommend that you make some time to make yourself at least a tiny little meal with fish bought from this market, because let me tell you, delicious. Another thing that I must mention, guys, is that this place is incredibly clean. For having so much fresh fish just lying around, you would not believe how clean this little market is. As much as I want to stay here and continue to admire all this fish and buy some for dinner, we have to keep moving because I have a lot to show you today. So what do you say, Adrian? Should we keep going?
Let's do it.
Yeah. So guys, right now we are heading on a small walk towards Ponte di Rialto, one of the biggest landmarks here in Venice and a must-see. So let's head over there. It's not too bad of a walk, but it is a steep climb if you have mobility issues. But we're gonna do this. One of the cool things about this walk to the middle of the bridge is that you get to see these beautiful window displays unlike any other place that you've seen. Carnevale, it's a big theme here. Wow, as usual it is crowded, but let's go take a look. So guys, we have finally made it to the bridge, and as you can tell, this place it's completely packed from day to night. We have managed to secure a spot, and this will guarantee you one of the best views of the canals. A couple of fun facts while I have you guys here. Ponte di Rialto was actually supposed to be a temporary bridge when it first came about. Turns out people started using it more than they thought they would, so they decided to go ahead and make it of stone. Here's the dealio, guys. They actually started asking for submissions from architects all over the area, including Michelangelo. In the end, he did not succeed in getting approved to design this beautiful bridge, but an architect by the name of Ponte did, hence the name Ponte di Rialto, and that is how this bridge came to be named that way. Very fun fact. So now you know, even Michelangelo got turned down, so I think we're okay. So guys, now that you know a little bit about it, my best suggestion to you is when you come, make sure that you come early in the morning to avoid the crowds. But if you do find yourself with a crowd, just have patience, wait for your turn, more than anything, be polite. And once you get up to the front, admire this beautiful view, make sure that you take your selfie, take a deep breath, move on down and go to the next spot. Let's go. We're starting to see people with the boxes, so it means that we are getting close. We have made it, guys. It may not look like it, but if you walk from the other side, you'll be able to see the pasta freshly made. Has been secured.
Don't spill my beer. Or drink my beer.
Too late. Mine is delicious.
It is pretty good.
Guys, pasta in a box, it's one of the many affordable options that you can find here in Venice. A lot of people think that visiting Venice means that you have to splurge and spend like a lot of money, and you don't. You really don't. There's so many options. Just make sure that you stay away from the tourist areas. So guys, lunch was absolutely delicious.
It surely was.
It really was. And just sitting there, breathing in, breathing out, and people watching has renewed our energies, and we can continue to walk. But first, we have to dispose of our trash.
Let's do it.
And find some coffee, because that's a must after lunch.
Let's do it.
Let's go. So guys, after a delicious lunch and the must cafe afterwards, we have finally managed to make it to the Arsenale right behind me, as you can tell. Most people think that the areas to visit in Venice are only the Piazza and the San Polo area, and you actually have a whole other side of the city that you have to look at, including the Arsenale area. So the best spot for your picture is going to be right here on the bridge. Just make sure that you guys are careful whenever you're taking your pictures, as this is a military area. So let's keep moving, because there's so much to see. And guys, only a short walk away from the bridge, you are going to find yourself right at the Museo Storico Navale. So if you're into naval history type thing, this would be the museum for you to check out. But for us today, we have way too many spots to check out, so we're gonna have to skip on this one. One of the first things you're gonna notice whenever you head on this side of the city instead of the tourist side is that you're going to start to notice more of a local life feel to it. The water is gonna be cleaner, and you're gonna have more space to yourself to just walk and admire the beautiful surroundings. So if you get overwhelmed with lots of crowds, a good way to start is on the opposite side of the city by the Castello area. Let's keep moving, guys, and we have to take a really narrow street, so if you're claustrophobic, here goes your warning. I can't even stretch my arms. We made it out. And guys, just like that, from a super narrow street to a very wide open avenue, we find ourselves here in Garibaldi. And just like in every other city in Italy, Garibaldi is a place where people unite. There's restaurants, there's bars, and it's very lively. In this case, it allows you to be in a restaurant having fun without being in such a touristic-y setting. Garibaldi really has so much to offer without a touristic-y feel to it. But if that's still too much for you and you really feel the need to just take a break, stop the shopping, the whining and dining, and just admire nature, if you continue to go down straight down Garibaldi, you will find this park. And it's the perfect setting for you to take a break. Let's go. I would recommend this bench, but unlike me, make sure that you have a gelato in your hands. Guys, if you continue your walk through Garibaldi, eventually you're going to stumble upon the Basilica of San Pedro. Not many tourists make it all the way over here, so it's important for you not to give up. Just continue to go straight, and I promise it's worth it to see something that not everybody else sees. Everybody stays on the other side. Don't be like them. Our journey continues through Venice, and we keep walking along these beautiful plazas, but we have a new mission in mind, and that is to go see Marco Polo's house and also check out the narrowest street in all of Europe. Plus, I do want to show you guys the general area of the train station so you have an idea whenever you arrive there of what to look for. So come along with us and let's go check these places out. Let's go. And guys, it seems that we have found it. We have found Calle Varisco, and it is the most narrow street here in Venice. It was a quick 20-25 minute walk to find it. Now, here's the thing. If you are claustrophobic, get ready. I'm a little claustrophobic, but I think this is gonna be doable. Let's go check it out. Oh my God! I don't know that I can do this. Let's do it, guys. Wow. So let me show you just how narrow this is. I cannot extend my arms any further than this. How are you doing back there, Adrian?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good? So let's keep moving. There's actually houses down this street, guys. And for those houses, they can park their little boats right here. There's no light, guys, so when it gets dark here, you're on your own. Now let's see if we can catch a gondola or two for a little while. So guys, now that we have seen that, it is time for us to walk right back through this narrow street and make our way to let other people in, because as you can tell, it's impossible to social distance in this very street. Let's get to it. And we have made it out. We are alive and well. So we are out, babe, as a tall, muscular person. What was it like for you to be in such a narrow space?
Well, first, appreciate the muscular compliment. Not really.
I think so.
But no, it was kind of cool. It's kind of a little tight with the backpack, so if you come with a lot of gear, maybe a little tough, but no, it was fun.
And it definitely gets your adrenaline pumping, because you're like, oh my God, I could just get stuck here. All that gelato, it's not coming in handy right now. But we're gonna move on to the next spot, guys. So come along with us, because the day is not over just yet. Purchase of the trip, I have bought yet another scarf because I'm a little cold one and it's about to be evening soon, so better get a head start on the scarfing. And guys, just like that, after shopping for a beautiful scarf, we finally made our way to the famous Marco Polo house. As you guys know, Marco Polo became famous in the 1200th century because he traveled all through Asia and made some deals with some pretty impressive people. His travels were questioned at one point, but his legacy continues to be very strong, especially here in Venice. And as you can tell, his house is right behind us. Marco!
Polo!
Ah! So guys, if you find yourself in Venice and Marco Polo's house is on your list to visit, the easiest way is by taking a gondola. Now if you're like us and you like to walk around the city and make your own finds, then you can look for the streets, so the Ponte del Millón or you can look for Teatro Malibran and make your way there with the GPS. It's not too hard, but you do have to keep your eyes open. We are now heading out from the area surrounding the Marco Polo house, and we are on our way towards the train station area, so you guys can have a look and know where you are whenever you arrive in beautiful Venice. So guys, we talk about going to the train station, but I also do want to mention, if you are already in Venice and you are looking to get to the train station, the best way to do it is to look for the signs that say Ferrovia. Those signs will typically get you to where you need to be, so just keep an eye open for those signs. And guys, it is around this time that aperitivo starts, and you see everybody popping up left and right with their spritz or their Bellini. And here's actually a misconception. Most people think that the spritz came about from Venice, and it in fact did not. It was the Bellini. The spritz actually originated a little bit about of a distance from here in Padova, but nonetheless, it doesn't matter where it originated, it's where you drink it. As for me, on a normal day, I would be joining this crowd, sitting there with some patatine and a spritz, but today you are coming along with us, and I still have more to show you. So let's continue on to the train station. It feels like it's so far. So guys, after quite a bit of a walk, we have finally managed to make it to the other side of the city. We're standing right in front of the train station, Santa Lucia train station. If you are coming from anywhere in Italy, this will be the train station that you will be dropped off if you choose to come straight into the island. You are going to see the steps. You're gonna come down. This is going to be your view as soon as you walk in. Venice is going to take your breath away. Now, once you find yourself in this same exact spot with all your luggage, you have two options. One, you can choose to hire a porter service and have them walk with you, or you can choose to take the Vaporetto, which is right over there. Make sure that you know your stop so you can get off on the Vaporetto. That is an easy way to move around here in Venice. However, it can get pricey at €7.50 for each trip, up to 90 minutes. You can also choose to buy a day pass on the Vaporetto for €21, 2 days for 30, or 3 days for 40 euros. Now, the Vaporetto will also take you to the surrounding islands, so you do get the best bang for your buck if you choose to go with a day or two for the pass. Now, if you like to walk and save money, then you should take the bridge that is right behind me and walk along with your luggage, and you can in fact find your location on your own. I promise you, Venice is not that hard. And now, if you're just coming for the day, you have no luggage or minimum luggage, and you just want to hang out, my first suggestion would be that you start by walking up and down this canal and seeing some of the beautiful architecture in front of you and people watch. Now, there's a lot of ghost stories about the houses that are on this canal. One of them specifically, I will insert a picture and show you guys. It is the most haunted house here in Venice, and it hasn't been able to sell since 1970 because, according to the legend, or more like the facts, every person that owns that house has either died a violent death, been murdered, or claimed bankruptcy. So stay away from that house. Not even the fishermen put their ropes through it. But those are just some of the stories that you will hear about this main strip. So I think it's worth it to, before you go into the city, to check out what this strip has to offer. And guys, from this beautiful view, I think that it's time for us to go have some aperitivo, because if you know me, I like to drink because it just makes life a little bit better. So come along with me and let's go have a spritz. short walk later, we find ourselves here at one of our favorite spots in Venice to get aperitivos. So this is it. This is the plaza. Those are the steps I like to sit at, and these are the places I choose. Not very touristic-y, not very fancy, but very good. We are done drinking our spritz, and with that I am going to call it a day. I am going to go have me some dinner here in beautiful Venice, but I want to thank you for coming along with us today on this beautiful city, and I hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did. Now you know, next time that you find yourself here in Venice, make sure that you hit up some of my favorite spots. Until then, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.